When we hit roadblocks in our life, there's a common belief that we should keep pushing instead of quitting. The root of this belief can be traced back to how society has groomed us to believe that quitting is a failure. This makes us dread the idea of quitting. So, instead of considering other options, we keep pushing on, not because we want to succeed, but because we are trying to protect our self-image and avoid being seen as a loser. At this point, we are no longer chasing our goals, and this is when you should quit. It all starts with a goal, whether it's to earn a degree, break a world record, or reach the highest position in our career. Whatever it may be, having a goal is in itself a source of motivation that pushes us to work towards becoming the best versions of ourselves. But the road to achieving these goals isn't often a straight one. The bigger your goal, the greater the obstacles you are likely to face on the way to achieving it. These challenges will test you both physically and psychologically. In most cases, the physical test isn't so much a problem as the psychological test. We can push our bodies to great lengths, skip our meals, and focus completely on the task before us. But the real test is in our heads, and that's when we are faced with two options: keep pushing or call it quits. If you asked anyone this question, they will most likely advise you not to quit. But 90% of this advice isn't based on any form of clear, rational thinking. Instead, it is based on the fact that quitting is generally seen as failure. But soon, you'll see that quitting isn't a failure. Instead, it's a process that can bring clarity if applied properly. To prove this, let's go to the world of sports and talk about the sportsman Michael Jordan. During his career that spanned about 20 years, Michael Jordan retired 3 times from the NBA. The first time was in 1993, and Jordan, who had just lost his father, said that he lacked interest in basketball. Coming from someone who's considered one of the best basketballers of all time, this was indeed a big surprise. But 2 years later, Jordan replied to several questions about his career with 2 words: "I'm back." And yes, he was. He went on to win 3 consecutive championships between 1996 to 1998. Clearly, Michael Jordan's challenge was not physical in nature, but psychological, and he needed time to process it. Sometimes, when chasing our goals, we lose sight of the reason why we are chasing the goal, and when this happens, we begin to question our motives. Anything could make us lose our reason. Maybe we found ourselves in a difficult situation, like not having enough money to fund our business, a personal tragedy like the loss of a loved one, or even emotional turmoil. When we find ourselves in this situation, what we need is clarity, and sometimes clarity means stepping back from everything to have a clearer view, a different perspective, or reaffirming your reasons before you continue. The difference between quitting and failure is that failure is not always a choice. We don't just decide to fail, but we can decide to quit. And this shows we have control over the situation. Look at it this way: we have some of the best technologies today, and yet most of these technologies need to be recalibrated to maintain their accuracy. For instance, we may feel our smartphones slow down as we use them every day. When this happens, one common solution that works 99% of the time is to restart the phone. Quitting helps us to recalibrate. It's a period of time when we can stop momentarily and give ourselves time to think things through, and if necessary, follow a different approach to achieve our goals. If you look at it this way, quitting is less of a failure and more like a strategic step for success when things aren't going as we planned. I have to admit that one of the biggest mistakes that I have made in my life is holding on to things for too long. Early in my entrepreneur journey, I was building a business that was going nowhere, but instead of quitting, I kept pressing on. I lost 2.5 years just because I was not willing to say the following sentence: this is not working, let me try something else. It cost me a lot of time and resources, but at least I learned the lesson the hard way. Regardless of the fact that we occasionally hit roadblocks on the path to our goals, there's a way to limit how often it occurs, and that's by taking time to plan. Planning helps you foresee the challenges that are up ahead and come up with measures to tackle them before they even occur. I have a strategy for planning my life, which I call the Productivity Framework. It is a simple 5-step system that consists of vision, effort goals, weekly structure, time blocking, and task management. Each of these steps are flexible and can be adapted to fit any goal. If you want to give it a try, then you can download a free template and watch a training video that will explain how the system works. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next episode.